Hey guys, welcome to Bowhunting Soul. I just got done doing a video about the Leatherman Wave, and it got me thinking. I've been wanting to do a video, something about the Swiss Army knife. This is the Swiss Army Soldier, I believe. Technically, this is made by Wenger before they actually merged. If you want to know the history of Swiss Army knives, by the way, there's Victorinox and there's Wenger, and I think Wenger was the actual original back in the day, and to become an official Swiss Army knife, it had to be recognized by the Swiss government. Very interesting story. Victorinox got more popular, but Wenger, has been around, and they still, they make Victorinox, Wenger, whichever brand. I think they still kept the brand separate. They make incredible tools. This is the Alox version, okay, aluminum oxide. So it's got this, jimping on here, I guess if you want to call it, this grip. I really like this. I actually took off the, it had a little metal lanyard. I actually kind of miss it. I actually kind of want that thing back now. But this is a cool little knife. Just a quick review. This is actually going to be a review about how to use a wire stripper on this thing, and I'm going to get to that. But since I'm doing this, I might as well do a little review. I love this little pocket knife. It's not, overly big. The knife is, it's not enough to, well, it'll scare some people, but I mean, paper cuts scare some people in this day and age. But it's a very, very usable knife. Pretty sturdy. Again, you're not going to be hacking down trees and stuff with this thing. Very thin. Very thin. So it's got a really, really usable knife. Stainless steel, holds an edge really well and takes an edge really well. So there's that. And there is bottle opener. Again, I refuse to call it a cap lifter. I don't like this new terminology. It's got a wire stripper hole in here. I'm going to come back to that in a second. And it's got, of course, I modified. This part opened up. This was actually the can opener. Now, I really don't have much use for a can opener, but I did have use for a longer screwdriver to get into deeper things. If any of you guys have kids, and you've got kids' toys, younger kids, trying to get down to the battery access holes that are like this deep, for a screw that's like this big, unless you have some of those long skinny screwdrivers, it's a pain. This actually, I modified this. You can actually see the last vestiges of where, the can opener kind of half, claw, half moon shape or whatever that was in there. I actually ground that away, so I just turned it into just like a basic bottle opener with a long screwdriver, long skinny screwdriver. And just like I talked about with the Leatherman video, you can almost use this as a two-dimensional Phillips driver, because this is skinny enough that it fits into the slots, this way or this way of a Phillips bit. And just then again, the whole plus sign, you're just getting the two. It actually works really, really well. So if you're into modifying things, that's kind of a little bit of a trick for you. I left the bottle opener part on there, but anyway, and it's also got it's got an awl. Some people don't like the awl. On the version that's called the Farmer, I believe, this is a saw. The saw on Victorinox and Wenger products is really, really good. Really good. I mean, it zips through stuff like crazy. Again, you can't get super aggressive with it and put side load on it, but it does the job. But this one is an awl. And actually, I've used this more oftentimes than I thought I was ever going to use an awl. You can start a hole. You can start a hole in wood. You can poke a hole through hide if you're going to, hang a deer or something like that. And also, this comes in handy instead of using up your knife. If you're going to do like a flint steel and start doing sparks, I use this. I use this part of it instead of screwing up the edge on my main blade. So that's really good. However, going back to the main idea that I wanted to have for this video, and there's some other videos out there circulating on this, but a lot of people don't know, and I'm gonna go through it. You ever wonder why this screwdriver blade, the bigger screwdriver blade on Swiss Army knives, also kind of locks halfway in its halfway position? You ever think about that? It's got a purpose. The purpose is wire stripper. Watch this. Today, earlier, actually, I changed out probably about as like a 20-year-old smoke detector, and then this was part of the wiring. Actually, this is the part of the old wiring. I had to hardwire it in. So anyway, I've cut this end on here. So what if you need to to strip this wire? What do you do? Well, there's a reason why this thing locks in that way. You see this? I want to do this easy for you. The wire, yeah, it's hard to do with the dangling. The wire goes in here, like so. And then you put that in there. You see the notch, it's probably meant for smaller wires, but it actually works. It actually works really well. This is up for a reason. This is kind of like a backstop for this wire. And then when the blade comes down, you just simply turn that a few times. You gotta stay in line, obviously, and maybe put a little bit of pressure. This isn't like, you know, like a master electrician grade wire stripper. But you basically put pressure on it like that, and then there you go. When you're doing it, this thing, you know, might kind of walk a little bit. Let's try that again. This might kind of walk a little bit. You know, so you got to like make sure you put some pressure this way. But that's really what it's for. It's to capture that wire. And then when you're doing this, you know, you got to have a bit of a feel for it. Again, it's not like you know, electricians' wire strippers, and then you just take it. There you go. That's why this locks in this position. I did see this in a YouTube video. I have no idea what it was. It was years ago, so I'm sure there's a bunch of other YouTube videos on there. But for those of you watching mine and you didn't know what that was for, that's what that is for. So it's a pretty cool little thing. So let me know if you guys have a favorite little pocket knife or the Swiss Army knife in particular that you carry. I don't carry this one all the time, but you know, when I do, I really like using it. This is such a slick tool. All Victorinox stuff and you know, Swiss Army stuff is really like slick, tight. They don't get loose. Even though this is like a riveted tool, you know, I've never once had this thing have slop in it or anything like that. So they're really good. I'm gonna put a link below, as usual, to Amazon if you want to check one of these out. Very cool. This is the Wenger / Victorinox Soldier is what it's called. So anyway, leave your comments below, and if you've discovered other kind of neat functionalities in any of your multi-tools, or specifically your Swiss Army knife, because there's a bunch of other stuff out there that they do that people have no idea what the actual use is for, or multiple uses for, then put it on. I'd like to hear it. So like, share, subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys next time.